If you watch my last couple of videos, I'm talking about the state of mind that allows you to detect quality. So here is a practical application of that state of mind, of using that state of mind. You don't have to take political sides. Imagine that. One great way to implement the subliminal self is to watch the news. Can you sit through half an hour of CNN or Fox and allow yourself to be totally objective? I suggest you pick the one that you don't like. See if you can do it. It's really hard. Your preconceived value system is dying to kick in. Your cognitive biases are almost impenetrable. You are either TDS or MAGA, but it's a really good exercise. And if you can do this, you may find you'll start coming up with some truly original opinions based on quality that we know now is certainly there. What you see as valuable will emerge if you let it. And people who do this as a basis of their writing, their theoretical work, or in conversation are usually much more interesting to listen to or read than someone following the party line, no matter how brilliant they are. These original thinkers are very aware of their confirmation biases and circumvent it by allowing the subliminal self, allowing quality, what they see as of value, to inform the content of their material. And one thing you will notice about these people is they're very difficult to pinpoint politically. So here are some examples who you may have heard of and you can easily find on Google or YouTube. The first one is a very famous guy now, Jordan Peterson. A lot of media will smear him as alt-right or far-right, but he declares himself to be a classical liberal, which I guess is something like what a liberal was 30 years ago. He has a lot to offer both the lost young men of our time and to women who want to be more assertive in the workplace. He seems to stick up for everyone. He seems to dislike Trump, but understands why he was elected, as he is looking at the world through his own theoretical framework outlined in maps of meaning and popularized in 12 Rules for Life. Another person who's a very original thinker, who you can find on YouTube, is Scott Adams, who's the creator of Dilbert, the Dilbert comic strip. And he claims to be to the left of Bernie on social issues, yet he is primarily followed by Trump supporters because he's looking at political persuasion in general, and how people are able to sell their ideas. And he sees Trump as very successful at this, but he also sees Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as very successful at this too. He tends to be followed by Trump supporters, but he often has to warn them when he's about to give credit to the left, which he does frequently. His lack of insistence on following preconceived political stance, coupled with a high level of creativity, which often goes hand in hand with this state of being, yields useful and original solutions to seemingly unsolvable political and practical problems. Another one is Jonathan Haidt, who wrote the book, The Righteous Mind. He's a moral psychologist, and he's at NYU. And in a lot of ways, his moral foundations theory illustrates how a person's political beliefs are often contingent on their moral system, in fact, are contingent on their moral system. And moral systems can be very different for conservatives than they are for liberals, although both sides are equal in, are both believing that they are doing the right thing. And this book kind of enlightens you as to what the other side, how the other side perceives the world, which is really valuable when it comes to cultivating this state of mind. This knowledge alone opens up an avenue to entertain the possibility that there isn't one way to see political issues. Another person who's popular on the let's just call it the intellectual dark web these days is Bret Weinstein, the evolutionary biologist. And he gives a great lecture, hopefully I'll link to it, about being open-minded enough to reach across the aisle, and that the real political difference is not left versus right, it's libertarian versus authoritarian. And you can test yourself, by the way, to see which one you are. It's called the political compass test, and I'll put a link to that. And that is sort of, that's another good parallel to the quality state of mind in terms of looking at political issues, because a libertarian mindset is open enough to entertain opposing ideas, whereas an authoritarian mindset isn't. The authoritarian mindset is the mindset of preconceived values, and the libertarian mindset is the one that is open to discovering what value is. And naturally, of course, Robert Pirsig, who wrote the book, he doesn't characterize himself as either hip or square. And in the book, you will find he has great reverence for an old American way of living, you know, the old-fashioned way, potentially something that you might, you know, even see in Andy Griffith, for example. But he also has great reverence for lofty philosophical ideas in Eastern philosophy. And, you know, a lot of his fans, a lot of people who read the book were hippies or nerds or outcasts. So this is a short reflection on implementing quality in a couple of domains. So the domains would be connection, human connection. So this is a way of reaching across the political divide using the subliminal self, the state of mind that allows quality to emerge. And it would also be implementing quality in the domain of mind to improve your intellect, to challenge yourself intellectually. So I hope that made sense, and I will see you next time.